Hello and welcome back to Popcorn Chat. I hope you guys are doing well. This week we're talking about the film Upgrade, which was released in 2018, and I watched it earlier in this week. I know, I only just watched it. What am I playing at? It was written and directed by Leigh Whannel, who you may know from the Saw films. He wrote a lot of those, and he was also involved in the Insidious franchise. So what's it all about? Set in the not too distant future, we bear witness to a mugging of Gray Trace and his wife, and unfortunately his wife dies and Gray is left paralysed, and this leads him to be looked after by his mother and technology. When a billionaire inventor offers Gray a potential cure by injecting a AI system called STEM into his spine, he jumps at the opportunity to potentially walk again and live a normal life. Little does he know the power that STEM has and its sort of controlling nature it's wanting to gain over Gray. I can't help but compare this film to Venom, which I saw before. I saw it at the cinema, and it's very similar, obviously, with the lead actors. They look very, very similar, and also this sort of internal sort of confliction with this thing within their sort of their brain and the control it has over them both mentally and physically. Venom came out the same year as Upgrade, and the director said that he had no idea about this comic book character, but I just think it's a little suspicious that these two characters go down a very, very similar storyline. So let's talk about some of the positives of this film. I thought that Logan Marshall Green's physicality within this film was absolutely amazing. From when he is a quadriplegic and he can hardly move, to when he has STEM installed in him and he's doing these sort of very sort of robotic choreographed scenes. I think it's absolutely amazing, and I don't think that's getting enough recognition. I think the physicality from this actor, who I've never seen before, is amazing, and I definitely want to check out the rest of his work. The camera tracking throughout the fight scenes was amazing. It sort of sticks to the protagonist's face and it locks in and the whole world sort of moves around him. I think it's used really effectively in this film. It's not overused. Other directors could have, really gone with that sort of style, but it's used really effectively in a couple of scenes and I really liked it. I think the timely use of gore within this film is really effective. It's sprinkled throughout and it was able to give me the sort of shock value that I've not seen in a long time. A lot of horror films and slashers and gore films just sort of throw it at you, but because I wasn't expecting it with this film. I just thought it was a sci-fi action film, but there's a couple of scenes where you just didn't expect it, and he would give like these sort of villains like the sort of smiler, and that just shocked me. I was like, oh my gosh, I did not expect that, and it just sort of took me back, and I thought that was really effective and it was used really, really well within this film. So let's talk about some of the negatives within this film. First off, I was really disappointed with the writing of the female characters. Obviously, Gray's wife is killed off within the first act of the film, and that's obviously, it plays a role within like the revenge story. And then also we have this female detective who we get a little bit of understanding that she's trying to find Gray's sort of hidden agenda and his ability to walk sort of throughout the film. But then ultimately, like, she gets killed by him, and it's just like, oh, okay, that's really sort of dissatisfying, especially for like female characters within this film, because there's not many as it is. However, I thought they were done injustice within the writing of this film. You can tell that this was a low budget film from the sort of simple set designs and the reuse of various environments throughout the film. But then again, if you think of Whannell's other projects such as Saw, again, they are very, very minimal sets, and the story is really effective there, and that's what people love about those films. Obviously, you've got the gore aspect as well, but I really enjoyed the story aspects of Saw, and I think he does it. I think he pulls it off well, but I was just very aware as it sort of got to 2/3 in the film. I was like, okay, we've seen that set, or that's another little boxed off room, like 4 wooden walls sort of thrown up there. So there were certain moments where it sort of took me out, and I was like, okay, this is quite a low budget film. We're going to head over to a new segment now on my film reviews, and that is Wongo's Words. We're going to go over and see our friend Wongo, and he's going to let us know his sort of very brutal, very honest opinion on the film Upgrade. What have you got to say, Wongo?
Hi everybody, I'm Wongo Bongo. I want to welcome you to Wongo's Words. Today we're talking about the movie Upgrade. Upgrade is a man versus machine man and man versus self revenge action sci-fi movie. Hollywood's hatred of women is here from the get-go, and they sprinkle in a healthy dose of ableism throughout the film. The end of the movie, though, all in all, Upgrade is fine.
Overall, I really enjoyed this film. It's just a shame that I'm naturally drawing comparisons with other films, such as Venom, John Wick, and In Time. The revenge story at the core of this film is nothing necessarily new, but when you consider that it was made with a $3 million budget, I think Whannel is able to create something spectacular. Personally, I think that Logan's performance within this film is unbelievable, and I can't imagine any other actor playing that role. So when you combine that with these really creative camera tricks and the editing of the fight scenes, you're in for a sci-fi action treat. So I'm going to give Upgrade 4 out of 5 stars. If you've seen Upgrade, let me know what you thought of it in the comments, and if you enjoyed my review, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and it lets me know that you guys are loving this sort of content. And I'll see you guys next week for another popcorn chat.